Hello, I am the real-life fake wizard. Nostalgia is an interesting word. To feel nostalgia is to experience a bittersweet yearning for the past. Bittersweet because it's the past and those good times are over. You move on. Now, the interesting part is that companies and corporations use our nostalgia to sell products. Memberberries is a common term now, referencing things of the past to pull on our nostalgic heartstrings in hopes of getting us to spend money. Look at Deadpool and Wolverine from 2024. This film was not very good, and it aged like milk almost immediately in everyone's mind. It would go on to make $1 billion, not on the merits of being a good film, but because it was the supposed swan song of a 20-year-old franchise filled with nostalgia-bait cameos and dirty language. But we talk about entertainment here in all forms: television, movies, games, and quite often I see people say, myself included, that things used to be better decades ago. During the Xbox 360 era, there was banger after banger after banger games every single week. The television shows, Jeez, even Spongebob Squarepants had a wittiness to it that modern Western television couldn't possibly fathom. The films were more engaging, not necessarily because they were good, but at least they had some bite. Comedy was allowed to have an edge. Men were allowed to be masculine, women were allowed to be feminine. Heroes were allowed to be heroes without some overdone, morally gray hack writing. And so yes, people find themselves to be nostalgic for the entertainment of the past, rightfully so. But as we look around at the state of everything, I'm a guy that dresses up like a wizard to make YouTubes about Nintendo ripping you off. My barometer for corporate avarice and less than satisfying storytelling is very tiny. I think that modern day entertainment is a joke, an insult really. But does everyone else feel the same way I feel? Are movies and television really that bad today? We got Expedition 33 earlier this year. Is one outlier enough to say that gaming is good enough today? These questions and more have brought me to NostalgiaCon in Houston, Texas, a seemingly fitting place where I'll be asking, was entertainment better decades ago? Firstly, the convention. For those of you who've kept up with my recent series of videos, you'll know that I've been traveling up and down the country going to gaming and comic conventions. And I've been pretty clear about shows that are great and some things that these shows could be doing to improve. Unfortunately, NostalgiaCon is the embodiment of what I suspected Comic-Cons as an industry were becoming, but I had hoped wouldn't be. It's just a celebrity petting zoo now. NostalgiaCon's premise is in assembling actors and entertainers that were part of programming in the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. There were over 100 celebrity guests at this event. And you think, oh, that's cool, all these celebrities in one place, right? No, it's not that simple. Every autograph and selfie is going to run you $40, $50, $60, $70 plus dollars. And good luck getting cash from the ATMs that have ridiculous fees on them. At $40, I would expect so much more than just an autograph from an actor who made Pokemon noises in the anime. You know, like Pika Pika, Squirtle Squirtle, Ekans. That'll be $40. And I don't say any of this to disparage any of the actors. It's not entirely their fault. This is the worst of the Comic-Con industry come to be. The entire point of this show wasn't necessarily to celebrate entertainment of the past. It was to just cash in on it. Nostalgia equals money. Oh look, Josh and Drake together at an event. That'll be $100 each. Unlike previous cons in this video series that acted as museums to preserve and celebrate artistic expression, NostalgiaCon's singular goal is to collect cash. All of the booths were generic tchotchke crap, and the celebrity experiences were stupid expensive. Now I can hear you in the comments. Wizard, the actors are there to make money. Well, sure, but at $40 or $50 as the baseline for all interactions, in an economy where common folks are very much struggling, you've put attendees in positions where to responsibly budget for this. Attendees will buy less. They have to choose one, maybe two, maximum 3 celebrities that they're going to meet. Higher prices reduces volume sold, and then, because of that, you get these embarrassingly gaping empty aisles 2 hours before the convention closes on the Saturday. I I want to rant about this and the conventions and the Comic-Con industry for much longer. Maybe that's a whole other video. But this video is meant to be more than that. The whole point is to actually hear less from me. So let's hear from the attendees of NostalgiaCon. As nerds with a clear appreciation for the past, do you think entertainment was better back then or right now?
Then versus now.
Personally, I think it's shit.
Quality, acting, original. They had passion for certain projects, good script writing.
Decades were better than what it is today. Okay.
I'd say it's about the same.
It's about the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it may feel a little bit better back then.
I think the time and effort put into previous shows is more substantial than what they're trying to mass produce now.
It feels like they used to be more original, and now they're just remaking things, but not necessarily coming up with anything new.
Oh, that's a tough question.
I would agree with that. This is a tough question, and it does depend. Were things better back then? Are things better now? And really, there are no right answers here. The point of this question is not to get definitive yeses and nos, per se, but to get a gauge on what people are thinking about modern entertainment right now. There is a ridiculous amount of content being made right now in all areas of entertainment. But as we discuss here on this channel very often, most of it falls flat. The movies are stale and hollow with paper-thin characters. The games are expensive, unoriginal, and forgettable. And television is... well, I think television today is offensive to the senses.
Entertainment better or worse than it was 10 years ago? I've noticed you're very stoic. Is that the approach you take to entertainment as well? I feel like you could watch a movie without even blinking.
You know, what's fun about doing these boots-on-the-ground interviews with people is that I get to ask them, what do you think broke inside the system? What went wrong? Or perhaps, what do you think is working? Why is there such a polarizing point of view on media being made today? What changed?
The background effects, the CGI. Back then was real, nowadays, no.
The style of comedy. There's so many, today it feels like too many people are walking on eggshells, and I understand that. It seemed so much more free, like they had their own freestyle back then. It just, and I understand the creativity, the way everybody's going today. I understand that, but that's definitely for me.
Focus on story, really.
Focus on story.
People really put a lot more effort into story on old shows.
Everything is too much the same, right? Like everybody just piggybacks after the same thing. So one idea is good and they're like, oh, we got to do the same thing. And everything is just the same cookie cutter idea, right?
I would say the streaming services, they just became, like they overtook pretty much all of media, if you really think about it. Live TV shouldn't even be around anymore because all the streaming services that everyone has, that they pay for, they feel, but people who even pay for streaming services don't even like the streaming service because you have to buy so many.
I feel like the switch right here is just for like the TikTok 30-second clips and whatnot, and everything in between it's just like you're a filler until you get to like the big moment.
Streaming took away like everything. Now you have to pay for what you want to watch, and even if you're paying for it, you're still going to get ads.
Some interesting points for sure. Comedy is a husk of what it once was, though it was nice to see Naked Gun with Liam Neeson take a few more risks with its jokes than nearly every comedy the past 10 years. Everything is too much of the same. You can follow the exact same formula for nearly every television show right now. Here, take a single idea that would be a less than decent 90-minute feature, and then stretch it to death to reach at least 8 episodes. Spend over $100 million making said show, in which the men are emasculated, the women can do no wrong, the bad guys are hardly reflected as being the bad guys, but commit atrocities that are unforgivable, and the season will always end on a cliffhanger that goes nowhere, especially when the show is canceled for diminishing ratings. We got a bunch of folks that said streaming was a problem, and that streaming has led to an abundance of content, and inside of that abundance, nothing is special anymore. This is like Syndrome from The Incredibles. If everything is special, nothing is special. However, and I'm no fan of streaming personally, but that's not really true in this case. Abundance does not equal blandness. Just because there is a lot of content, that does not inherently reduce the perceived value of the content itself. No, the content itself has lost its perceived value because it is bad. It's lost its value because it is boring, because it sucks. It has nothing to do with the amount of content available. There are people with MCU Avengers tattoos. That means there are people who love the Marvel movies so much they would spend hundreds of dollars to have their skin permanently changed to reflect their emotional connection to the Avengers. That, or they got a little drunk on a Tuesday night. But there are people with these tattoos who have not seen all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows. They haven't seen all of the recent Marvel movies, not because there's too many of them, and not because there's too much homework to keep up with, but because these shows and movies are not good enough to warrant their investment in time and money. If something is good, people will watch it, most of the time. If people are entertained, if people feel like they're being spoken to and emotionally connected with, they will invest unlimited time and unlimited money. If the Star Wars shows were good, people would watch them. If movies are actually good, people would go see them. If games were good, people would play them and keep playing them. Right now, this K-pop Demon Hunter movie was just crowned the most popular Netflix movie of all time with the most views of any Netflix film. There are other animated films out there right now, but most do not come close to the numbers K-pop Demon Hunters is pulling in. Is that an abundance problem? Or perhaps, is this movie pretty good, at least to the audience it's made for? Stranger Things is a popular show that's been around for some time. After a long hiatus, the 5th season is finally releasing this November. This show is likely to break viewership records, even if it's just against its own streaming numbers. But there are still lots of other shows premiering around the same time. There's still lots of other content to watch, but Stranger Things resonates with lots and lots of people, whether you or I like it or not. And the rest of streaming, the rest of Disney Plus, doesn't. Of all the shows dropping every single week, none of them are talked about for even a few hours after they air their episodes. That's not because of content abundance. It's because those shows are just not that good. And that's the overwhelming majority. But look, yes, I can hear you, and I agree. Wizard, your point is subjective. Some people, albeit small numbers, do like some of those shows. There's much more going on here. Yeah, you're right. And I've already said that there are numerous reasons why the entertainment wouldn't be respected anymore. So instead of talking about what's gone wrong, I want to know from people, and that includes you in the comments below, what would it take to fix things? There are an infinite number of reasons why people no longer care about entertainment mediums. So if you could speak directly to the decision makers in Hollywood and in the gaming sphere, what would you tell them to do to win back customers?
What I would say that mostly have your own ideas, have your own concept of it. It's better that we know that the way you think than how other people think.
Well, I can't say that here. Can't say that here.
Don't remake characters, add them. Don't look at something and go, I'm going to change this to fit what the social standard is currently. Add to the story, add to the universe, make it to where that character is their own.
Clean house. I say that as a brass top executive, clean house. There's nobody taking risk whenever it comes to these type of TV shows. The ones who do are kind of just pushed on the rug.
More like it was in the past, what would you say to do?
Release the list!
Less CGI, more authentic actors, better plots.
Okay.
If you're going to do a remake on some movies, make sure it is really good, okay? Because some of these movies that they remake, no bueno. No, they need to stop.
I'd say stick to amazing stories instead of trying to pander to different, demographics. Just stick to great stories and the people will come.
Just listen to the feedback they're getting. They probably fix it, but they don't care. It's a business for a reason, no?
Have original ideas, clean house of all the executives that are making bad decisions, stop pandering, listen to feedback from audiences, stop doing remakes, less CGI. I mean, none of these points are rocket science, and they're all relevant answers. These are all the things we say here online every single day. The buyers know what it would take to get them to buy again, but the corporations making everything, they don't care. They're not listening because they don't respect the buyers. They used to. There used to be a relatively benign relationship between buyers and sellers, at least in the entertainment industry. But over the last 2 decades, the corporation stopped giving a damn what the buyers thought at all, opting instead for pandering ideology and peddling mediocrity. Out of the 100 celebrities that attended this event, I was able to interview a handful of them on and off the record, mostly off the record as they requested. Some of them were actors, some of them were writers, and some were artists. And we asked them the same questions we asked the regular attendees. Were things better in the past? What changed? And what do you think would fix it all if you could speak directly to the powers that be? These 3 questions, in a lot of ways, are controversially charged. To say that there was something to fix implies that something was broken and that perhaps there really is something wrong. But it's one thing for you and me, the buying demographic, to comment on the state of entertainment. We're the buyers. It's another thing entirely for someone working in the industry to admit, even in passing, that something is wrong with the entertainment world. Many of the guests at NostalgiaCon aren't exactly in the A-list right now. Maybe a handful are, sure. But as I asked these questions to these guests after having a very cordial and open dialogue with them, it was as if they had seen a ghost. I can't disparage Disney. I want to work again. I can't say anything about that. It is what it is. We can't change it. What I'm describing here is that I had conversations with the guests at their tables while there was no one online. And I asked them what they really thought about the industry's current state, and a bunch of them, while wanting to agree with me and tell me what they truly believed, could not, for fear of being ostracized and blacklisted by the very industry they're commenting on. Some of them we did proper interviews with the camera rolling, but I can't in good conscience post them because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if this video led to individuals who I genuinely respect losing everything because some asshole in a wizard hat hit him with an accidental gotcha question. Firstly, I'm not that kind of man. I'm not some slimy attack journalist. I'm not a journalist at all. They all suck. I'm just a fake wizard. I'm not here to collect scalps like so many others here on the internet. We were at one booth, and the guy had to step away for a minute. And as we spoke with his wife, she told us she was holding back getting emotional just from rehashing with us what a specific entertainment company did to her husband, even after being responsible for films that generated fortunes, and you would know every single one of them that I named. You know, I do these videos. I put on this outfit, and I say that these entertainment corporations, and most of the corporations around the world, are straight up evil. They are straight up terrible and have nothing but contempt for the worldwide buyers. And I get comments that agree with me, yes, but I also get a lot of comments from people who say things like, "Nuh-uh, I like that company still. They're not so bad." So I said, okay, well, I'm self-aware enough to know that my point of view is a little extreme and biased. Let me go down on the ground and meet other nerds where they are and see what they think. 99% of the time, those nerds agree with me that the products being made now, whether it be games or movies or television, are not good enough. Perhaps they don't share the same evil component that I feel, but we can agree that companies are delivering substantially less quality than in years past. Still, nuh-uh, I like Nintendo. I want to play Mario Kart. I still like Star Wars. The Force is female. Stop complaining. And now, I feel like we've hit the ceiling. Now we're at a point where I'm interviewing people who work and have worked in the industry who are saying that they themselves have suffered at the hands of corporate avarice. That sometimes things could be as bad as we've discussed. But here we are. What are the pathways forward? What does the future look like? Well, Disney is writing a blank check to make Avengers Doomsday, or really they should just call it Nostalgia the Movie, squeezing every drop of Memberberries juice. Every title out of Nintendo is a continuation of legacy IP, with seldom attempts at launching original titles. Gears of War 1 is on its second remaster, everybody. Harry Potter is getting a 10-year television series, and the costs to consume all this content, not even entertainment, content, will continue to increase each year, especially on streaming, where the average American is now spending $69 per month in collective subscriptions. Nostalgia is the only thing entertainment companies have left. There's nothing new. There's nothing fresh. It's like an Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. We're so close to a collapse, you can almost smell it in the air. But it's going to come down to the buyers now. If you're upset with the state of entertainment, the state of gaming, the state of cinema and television, stop buying. Cancel your subscriptions. Cancel Disney Plus. Stop buying from them and start supporting competition. There are options out there for alternative entertainment. For gaming, we just launched Fake Portal to help gamers find indie titles from small and solo developers entirely for free. But there are other things out there too that can be done, like starting to do things yourself. There are only two ways to challenge this economic condition. One, stop buying. Two, increase and support competition. For us, I can try my best to help gamers find new games with Fake Portal. For you, maybe it's learning how to write so you can start writing your own stories. Perhaps it's taking a class online to learn how to make games, or make 3D art, or make movies, or making your own movie, or writing your own books, or picking up that musical instrument. I don't know what kind of aspirations you have in your heart, but I know you've got something inside of you you've dreamed of doing. What's stopping you? I didn't say it was going to be easy. I didn't say it was going to be free. I didn't say it wouldn't take a long time, but you have dreams inside of you that deserve to be experienced and lived. I mean, look, we've come to a point as a society where there are conventions based on nostalgia. Like, we're looping so bad, but it's more like swirling around the toilet as it's being flushed. We need you. We all need you. You watching this right now to do something for yourself, to make something, to learn, to teach, to get involved to the capability you're able to, if you care. If you are as charged up as I am. And you don't have to be. Please don't be as charged up as I am. You do not have to do any of this. But consider this video your permission to try. I'm giving you permission. Go try something new. And if you disagree with me, and you want to do a video response bashing me, you want to call me names and say I'm a grifter, there's no excuses for you either. Go make something. Go try something new. Disagree with me all you want. Hate me if you must, but go create. Go make something beautiful. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Goodbye.